Vale, va. Vale, va. Vamos. Vamos. Empieza como el otro. Empieza igual. A ver. Estamos listos, ¿eh? Está bien el audio, ¿no? Ahora sí que tiene que estar bien. Voy a gritar yo, pero que se escuche bien.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Hogwarts Legacy Gameplay Showcase. I'm Chandler Wood, Community Manager here
¿Qué pasa,
at
Chandler?
Software, and I'm honored to introduce you to our panel today. First up, we have community guest host, Ben Snow.
Oh my god, I can't believe this is happening. Thank you so much for having me.
And from the Avalanche team, we have game director
¿Subo?
Alan Tu.
Hello, everybody.
And systems designer Mackenzie Toner.
Hi.
And finally, just off screen capturing gameplay for us, Andrew Coram. Today we'll be giving you a taste of the open world via broom flight, a deeper look at combat using the Dark Arts Battle Arena, and a look at your personalizable home within Hogwarts, the Room of Requirement, where we may even see some beasts. And we're starting right where we left off in our last gameplay showcase.
Ah, mira,
just outside
justo en el mismo
Hogwarts,
sitio.
Which I love that.
Justo en el mismo sitio.
You can walk out of the castle after walking through everything, and then just come out here and take off on your broom out of the open world. And Alan, I know that's something that you particularly like about Hogwarts Legacy too.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of just being able to hop on the broom and go.
Ahí al lado se ha visto el globo que vimos en el vuelo.
Of everything being open to you.
Una especie de globo.
Just, I love the proximity that I can get to things. I love flying close to the ground.
Ala, ala, ala. Mira la cabaña de Hagrid.
I kind of wanted to talk about it just because I feel like, you know, the brooms are fun for me, not just because of all those feelings of exhilaration, but because they're not just, I have a broom and it's done. I actually kind of like some of the mechanics in it. So you see in the lower right, there's a meter there, and occasionally as Andrew's kind of flying up or flying down, you might notice it draining or not. And this isn't the present day where all the broom technology is well known and advanced and everything that we know and love. This is an earlier time where they're still trying to figure out, you know, we're not at the 3000 yet, we're at the 11.
Como que se engancha un poco a veces, ¿eh?
I'm just so speechless right now because this is just so beautiful. The world just looks so. By the way, the broom, is that like the only one, or can you like upgrade them?
Mirad la escoba, tío, mirad. Buah,
Yeah, so we have a shop in Hogsmeade, actually a broom shop, and so that sells a variety.
Ahí venden escobas diferentes.
It was important to us that the player could
Personalizamos
customize
escoba, lo
themselves
tenemos.
based on
Vale.
their aesthetic. So they're purely
Vale.
cosmetic, but if you talk to the shopkeep and help him out, he'll actually sell upgrades.
Mejoras para las escobas
Yeah,
también.
those upgrades will make it so that where normally the broom, you can only fly, you can only go at max speed. It's kind of like a turbo meter down there. You can only go at max speed without the meter going down, kind of closer to the ground. And as you raise into the air, you'll notice the meter drop. And so those upgrades will allow you to increase that distance from the ground. And the broom owner at the sporting store in Hogsmeade
Mira
is
que
trying to perfect the broom and get better at it and know it better. And you can participate that and get better and better brooms through that.
And I love that mechanic encourages you to actually explore the world and kind of stay close to the ground.
Madre mía, tío, es que no voy a bajar de la escoba.
You're not just flying high over everything, although it is beautiful, something I really love doing, but as well, there's lots to explore on the ground, and so kind of keeping you down at the ground level.
And to me, it feels like it's got this kind of surfing vibe over the.
Oh my god! Like I'm just like I want
Mirad si hay construcciones por ahí, tío.
Go to the mountaintop, I'm going to the forest, and to that hamlet. Or
Mirad, está lleno.
No, that's how it's called. I think that's what it is.
No, it's awesome.
Y estábamos en Hogwarts, ¿eh? Miradlo, ¿dónde está Hogwarts?
I feel like that you call it a hamlet is just perfect, just because that's what we refer to it as. And so. We all know from lore that Hogsmeade is the only all-wizarding village within Britain, but we wanted other opportunities to kind of meet.
¡Mirad qué guapo!
Here and to kind of populate.
Y tocando con los instrumentos.
Barren as you leave out this direction and that direction. And so we just imagine these different dwellings, these different smaller locations that wizards might live in out in the...
Que le puedes echar... Ah, que le puedes echar dinero. No te voy a dar dinero, amigo, lo
So
siento.
we refer to those as hamlets, and they're opportunities to learn those wizard stories.
Qué guapo, tío.
How those different locations have kind of like learned to live, what their relationships are with characters at Hogwarts.
Mirad qué casa, tío.
Hogwarts. And so they're both quest opportunities out here and a chance to kind of get to know more of the
Madre
area,
mía,
even
estoy
beyond
enamorado, tío.
Hogwarts and Hogsmeade that we've already experienced. And you also notice on the minimap like lots of little icons. And each
Mirad
one
el
of those
minimapa si hay
represents
cosas.
gameplay in the hamlets that you can participate in. You know, whether it's a vendor or different puzzles and challenges.
La verdad es que sí,
or different
Jester.
Secrets that exist.
Ahora lo
Each
comentamos
one of
luego.
those icons are different opportunities for gameplay.
Pero sí que se ve un
And
poquito petado.
You'll notice that same thing as we venture out into the open world as well. So when you go out into the open world and you see those icons, whether they're on the minimap or on your map or off in the distance, those things are opportunities to say, like, I want to increase my inventory capacity. They're puzzles left behind by
Mira ese,
old
con la escoba.
wizards, you know, that you can solve.
Parece que
that
vaya todo
actually
borracho.
grant you those. If you see ruins off in the distance and you visit them, you might find opportunities to actually expand and learn about your ancient magic. And
Vale, polvos
as
flu
you-
ahí.
and as you kind
Esto
of
es lo que
encounter
vimos en
enemies
el,
out
esto
on
es
the
lo que vimos en el
landscape,
ASMR.
sometimes those
Esto es lo que vimos
characters
en el
that
ASMR de
the
verano.
wizards might be
Esto de aquí.
affording different magical resources that are valuable to you as you're
Esto
playing.
de aquí.
So each one has kind of like a way to connect to our gameplay loops and provide different opportunities that just kind of reward you for poking around.
Va petado el directo, yo no
I
puedo
mean,
hacer
I
nada.
ran away
Son
when I
ellos.
Just cover all of those points on the map just by going over there.
Well, we've flown on a broom already, but there is something that we haven't done so far, and that is getting on our flying mount. We're going to hop on our Onyx Hippogriff.
Por
here.
favor.
The Onyx Hippogriff is
Por favor.
pre-order bonus.
No.
Oh my god, this just like pops out of the back. Oh wait, you can use it as a horsey? I mean, a horse. I mean, that is a
No me lo puedo
Yeah,
creer.
as a hippogriff, you can totally
Mira,
run
mira,
up and
mira,
down
mira,
and you
¡oh,
can
papá!
lift off into the air. And we tried to make sure that each of those interactions, so the broom's really good at reaching that top speed, at kind of traveling the world as quickly as possible.
me lo puedo
but
creer.
sometimes
Es la
it's really
montura
nice
negra
to
del
have a hippogriff
hipogrifo,
because of
chaval.
ground speed, or those transitions.
Madre mía.
And sometimes it just feels amazing just to be riding around on a hippogriff.
Look at it.
Yeah, it really is kind of like I don't know. It's a great feeling being on it, and it's a great feeling managing.
Una
those
vía y
transitions, kind of
madre
going
mía, si hay
from run to
cosas.
fly, and just being able to go wherever you want. And we tried to make sure that each one of these things that you can interact with have a unique identity.
Enemigos. ¿Habéis visto? Se ha activado la,
Oh
se ha
my
activado la
God,
música de
it's
enemigos.
like areas like a swamp
Esto me recuerda mucho a The
area.
Witcher,
But, like,
tío.
can you go to like entire map anywhere you go? There are regions that are like locked from you.
Yeah,
or,
as soon
like-
as you, there's kind of a moment where the world kind of opens up to you outside.
Ya puedes
of
acceder
Hogwarts
donde
as a student,
sea.
And right from that moment, early on in the game, you can go wherever you want. And so
Donde
you might
quieras.
find more difficult challenges in different areas, and you'll see different spots as Andrew's moving around, like you mentioned, the swamp. But there, we have got like a coast, and we've got different types of environments out in the world just to kind of pepper your experience, reward you for exploring, keep things fresh.
Por favor, un
All
dragón.
those things exist.
Un dragón.
No,
Un
I
dragón
love
y
that
soy todo
windmill. It's
vuestro.
like so rustic. Like I keep forgetting that this is like 1800s. The Wizarding World we've never really seen before. Like it feels so authentic. Like it's part of it.
Yeah, I love this vista too, and
Madre mía,
I'm
mira.
gonna have Andrew stop
No me lo
here.
puedo
We're gonna
creer.
use a bit of dev magic to change the seasons. Actually, I want you to see what this world looks like, covered in snow.
Yes, 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 please. I love snow.
¡Nieve!
That's all I want.
Oh, wavy.
¿Vale? ¿Ya? Por favor, un momento de cringe. Uf, mirad esto,
Oh
tío.
my goodness. This is so
Mirad
pretty.
esto,
Like, it looks
tío.
so realistic. Oh my god, it changes
No me
the
lo puedo.
landscape,
Pero
like,
ponedlo en grande, tío. No,
completely.
no
Oh
quiero
my
veros a
God, does it
vosotros.
have, like, actual like gameplay impact, like impact on the gameplay, or does it like it's just the weather of Scotland?
Yeah, we really use it
Mirad,
as a
madre
narrative
mía, tío.
marker through the game. So as you're progressing through your main storyline, it was important for us to kind of like have those moments that kind of felt like when you're reading the books or watching the movies where, you know, you'll see kind of like the title card winter and
Madre
how the
mía,
landscape
tío.
has changed, and
¿Veis? Ahí están
you're
los
really
globos esos
feeling
que se
those-
veían
that passage of
en el otro
time while you're
gameplay.
a student, you know, going through your year at Hogwarts.
Polvos flu,
And I
hemos
think-
visto ahí
I think
también.
we wanted to duplicate that, and for me it's really fun that it's not just on the outside, which which I agree. I think it looked really beautiful. But within the school as well. So there are moments like when it reaches certain holidays or things like that, where Hogsmeade reacts to holidays.
Buah, tío.
The school reacts to holidays, and you see the decorations around those environments change.
La decoración
So
cambiará.
it really helped just kind of make me feel like I'm there.
Right.
Yeah. And it's not just you know, for the seasons, those kind of vibe things. Like we have a day-night cycle, and that day-night cycle, even though similarly, like it's largely about vibe, when you go into Hogsmeade in the evening, there's less characters there. Around the school, you'll notice it kind of dies down and quiets down just when there's just candlelight and students kind of like as you're walking through the halls. But in that day-night cycle is where we've kind of placed a few items where, you know, whether or not you can collect them or whether or not you can interact with them that are a little bit restricted by the day-night cycle.
And I love Andrew's flying up here really high
Vuela alto,
up on
eh?
the hippogriff. And we're just looking at this view of Hogwarts in the
Madre
distance.
mía, qué
It's
estampa,
absolutely
tío.
beautiful. It's part of what I love most about flying around
Qué
in this game,
estampa,
whether it's
tío.
on a hippogriff or on the broom.
No, I mean, you talk about going anywhere and things that you can see in the distance, and that's one of my, I still can't get over, like, no matter, I play this so much, but I still can't get over the fact that I can see Hogwarts out there. And
La
there's
gente
just
por ahí
something
corriendo.
beautiful about knowing that all of the things inside of it, the classrooms, the students,
Cuidado que
the
viene temporal,
professors, all the places I can go, I can just fly my hippogriff, land in the courtyard, enter the front doors. and
Ojalá
just
se tirara
walk,
ahora
you know,
del-
to the
del-
library, to
del
class,
hipogrifo.
to
A ver.
greenhouse, or to my common room, that it's all contiguous and just kind of like one space is still exciting to me after all this.
I mean, I'm I'm speechless right now. It's just absolutely beautiful. It's just.
Qué barbaridad.
As much as we want to spend a lot more time out here just flying around, experiencing the world, I think this is a great opportunity to switch over to combat. And last time we
Dale,
did
dale.
kind of
Combate,
an
combate.
intro to combat. This time we're going to really go
Combate.
a lot more of a deep dive on using the Dark Arts Battle Arena, which is part of our deluxe edition. All right, Andrew's
Vale,
got
esto
us in
también lo
the
vimos.
Forbidden Forest, which is where the Dark Arts Battle Arena is.
Ahí está.
Which is part
Es
of the
la
deluxe
arena,
and
es la
digital
arena.
Deluxe edition. I love the way
Es
the
la
Dark
arena.
Arts Battle Arena is actually part of the world. It's integrated into the world, so your experience
es lo que
is more
vimos, el
immersive than
miniclip.
just choosing an option from the main menu of the game or something like
A
that.
reason to go to the Forbidden Forest.
Exactly.
Buah,
There
mirad,
are many reasons
mirad
to
el
go to
bosque
the Forbidden
prohibido,
Forest,
chaval.
but, he's also wearing the Dark Arts cosmetic set, and here he's pulling out the Thestral, which is
¡Hola!
part of that Dark Arts pack from the Deluxe and Digital Deluxe edition. So we're going full Dark Arts here.
That's good. That's
Madre mía, tío. Estamos...
But I like this this battle arena. It is a great place to show off really combat in a big way because it unlocks some interesting abilities for you and allows you to really play around with combat in a deep way.
And is this like the only arena like this in the game where you can like practice? And
Yeah,
do...
so in the base game we have 2 combat arenas normally, and so everyone has access to those.
Y aparte esta.
And each of the combat arenas are an opportunity to kind of just go through a difficult combat challenge, fight through multiple waves, in order to
Buah,
earn
qué pasada, tío.
a different cosmetic for your character and add that to your collection. In the case of that's no different than the Dark Arts Battle Arena. That's also true.
Tenemos 3
the combat
arenas.
arena. But one of the things that we're excited about in the Dark Arts Battle Arena that people can do is you come in preloaded with different abilities. So the unforgivable
lanza la
curses
Avada Kedavra ya,
everyone's
por
going to
favor.
have access to through the base game and going to be able to earn, and they can make choices in order to kind of like add that to their repertoire.
Mirad, han tapado lo de los
They can also
hechizos,
mix
tío.
that
Mirad cómo
down
es, mirad cómo es.
with
Se ve
certain
mal,
talents
pero
and
se
things
ve.
like that. When you play the Dark Arts Combat Arena, you actually have
Se ve mal,
access
pero
to
se ve.
all those things.
Qué cabrones,
as kind of
tío.
like
Qué
a way to
cabrones.
test them all. And so it's a chance
Qué
to kind of
cabrones,
like
tío.
tour and play with the Dark Arts and decide whether or not that is a path that you kind of want to go down.
Qué cabrones.
But,
Bueno, no
but
pasa
yeah,
nada, no pasa nada.
everyone has the same ability to
No pasa nada, no pasa nada.
explore the Dark Arts. This is just kind of like a way of previewing.
Vale.
And again, a great
Guau, guau,
place
guau.
for us to
La arena es
show off combat
espectacular.
in general. So I think we're gonna jump in here. Andrew's gonna start battling, and we can start talking
Vale,
about
vale.
everything you're seeing on the screen.
All right.
¡Ostras! ¿Ya?
They just-
¡Madre!
That was right away. Oh my god.
We're starting off strong.
Oh my god. is that-
Crucio.
was that-
¡Hola, hola!
Oh my god. That's so cool.
Yeah, so that you'll notice right away, like when we.
Vale, Avada Kedavra tarda un montón en regenerar. ¿Os habéis fijado, no? Tarda un montón. Pero podemos usarla, parece. Tan normal.
you'll notice that like the meter takes up a lot longer to
Yeah, a little
kind of
cooldown.
build up as a way to
Claro, ahí está.
deal
El
with
medidor tarda
some
más en
extreme
subir.
power, just so that it's still fun to use, and then there's some ways that we'll probably talk about to adjust that. But I don't know. I don't know if there are things on the screen that you just have questions
Ostras,
about.
chaval.
Or, like, I see like little
Y Crucio, cómo gritaba el otro.
from
Yeah.
the enemies. Also, before, like that sign, well, it's like, so in the community we call it the ancient magic sign. I don't know if that's how it's called
Yeah.
Crucio.
in the game.
Buah.
So the community is astute. So on the development side and in player facing in the game, we reference that as your ancient magic meter.
Oh, so it is ancient magic.
That is, yeah. So as your abilities in the game keep growing and you become exposed to
Madre
some of
mía.
the secrets about your own kind of history and your own abilities,
Madre mía.
you start unlocking new powers. So one of those powers, you'll see the R1 button appearing throughout the game. That's an ancient magic throw, we call it, that allows you to come
Ahí
in
está, la magia
and
antigua.
fling it at an enemy.
Okay.
But whenever you see the R1 or the L1 plus R1 appear over somebody's head, that's an ability to cast a very devastating
Vale.
and powerful
Pues será. Vale,
ancient
está
magic
claro.
spell
Vale.
to do a ton of damage
Vale.
against the character.
Rollo el del rayo que caía
And
del
the way
cielo,
that
cosas así.
manifests itself depends on the type of enemy that you're fighting. And you'll see a wide variety of enemies in here that are pressuring the player in different ways. You'll notice
Madre
there's,
mía.
there's abilities that kind of bubble up under the player as he's fighting that force him to move. And there's different ways that we want the player to kind of move around on the battlefield. And that's actually a good link to the ancient magic meter in general. And the reason why I say that is because
Madre
as
mía,
you're
tío.
doing different things in combat, you're protegoing and you're doing different abilities and you can kind of spectate with your talents. There are different ways to get that meter to build faster and faster.
¿Cuánto
So
grito?
one of the most effective base ways to build up that meter fast, that way you can launch these devastating attacks whenever you want to, is to actually perform combos. So you see that combo appearing, and it's almost like your emotions are building up, and then basically that builds up enough that you can attack someone. But as the combo meter builds up, at some point you strike someone and a piece of their magic kind of falls out of them. You'll see these blue orbs in the game world, and there's something that only you can see in the narrative, in the world. And it's another reason to move around
Madre
on the
mía,
battlefield.
ni
If you
escudo
can
ni
go
nada.
up and collect those things and suck them in, they give big jumps to that ancient magic meter as we're playing.
We're talking a lot about spells and magic here, but I think there's another huge component of combat, and that is the tools that you can bring to combat as well to kind of change the way you play. And I think Mackenzie knows a lot about what's going on with the plants and potions.
And so the tools are really interesting because they're basically like a prior investment. So you can bring the potions and the plants that you grow
Vale,
in the
correcto.
room of
Para
requirement
sacarlas.
to combat to essentially kind of help you defeat enemies a lot quicker and more efficiently. So some of the tools that you'll see here are like the rock skin potion. So that is something that basically covers your skin in this like rocky material that reduces the incoming damage.
Vale, ahí
that
está,
you're
de
receiving.
piedra.
So against big
Eso lo
enemies,
vimos
hard-hitting
también.
enemies like trolls, that's super helpful.
Oh my god, she's just destroying. The troll just collapsed.
Madre mía, la Avada Kedavra, tau.
Obviously, we have the Wiggenweld potion as well, which increases your health. And then we have the focus potion. So when Alan talks about having to balance Avada Kedavra with a long cooldown, because obviously it's an instant kill, one thing that you could do is brew a focus potion, and that will increase
Vale, menú de pociones.
your cooldowns regain.
Right. Oh my god, there's just so much like versatility, like in what the character is doing to the troll right now. Like he's just bouncing around the arena.
Ma.
And the
Madre
troll
mía,
makes him
tío.
move around too, looks like.
Vale, y esto lo coges para la magia antigua.
Yes, and so that's like when we're talking about the setup of the arena, you also have plants that you can fight with. And so we have things like
Hola,
the
hola,
venomous
hola.
tentacula that you can put down, and it
Madre
acts like a
mía.
turret, and it just kind of shoots enemies around the battlefield.
That is so cool. This is like a
Nada,
true,
nada.
like,
O sea, Avada Kedavra es espectacular.
the battle. Yes.
No, that was super important to us, that there were these like multiple ways. And so you can see there's a ton of different things you can use. The Mandrake is one, so you can pull it out and it stuns with its like piercing cry these enemies in a radius.
And another thing I want to call out that we're seeing on the side of the screen here is these dueling feats, which I love because I love anything that prompts me to play a game in a different way, a unique way. I don't want to get stuck in my style, you know? And so this is a way to, if you want to get stuck in your style, go for it. If you just want to blast people with spells, go for it. But we also want to
Mirad cuántos hechizos nuevos,
things over here that may make you use certain plants or certain potions or block more or...
Yeah, we mentioned the field guide challenges in the prior stream, and the field guide challenges...
Vale, ese ahora es amigo nuestro con el Imperio.
And exactly to your point, we just wanted a way to encourage players to explore the different systems, to help them decide, to just kind of practice with them and explore what they want to be, because there really are so many different ways that you can push talents. When you see the green X's on characters,
right,
and that's kind of through your talents you can unlock.
Parecía que cuando le han echado Petrificus, el cuadrado si aprietas es para que se vaya antes.
That way, as you get as you're cursing different characters, they all begin sharing damage, and so we have things like Avada Kedavra, which is the insta-kill, but if you curse everyone before you insta-kill this one guy, they can all drop dead for that kind of ultimate Voldemort fantasy. And so,
oh my God.
there are dark arts fantasies. There's fantasies about being more of a defense against dark arts character, things like that misty step that you see occasionally being used on the battlefield. And we can also spec into our potions and plants to make them more powerful and more efficacious. So it's all about which type of player
Todo
you
depende.
feel like you
Ahí
are,
está.
and whether
Cada
you
uno.
want to play with prep on the fly or with deliberation, and those are all different options.
That is so cool, because like it's like I see so much like going on the stream, there's so much complexity, and I want to just try it myself, like which style.
Madre mía, chaval.
Like it's the dark arts is going to be the easiest route, but that ancient magic, to be honest, feels like much more powerful than just the dark arts.
Yeah.
To be fair.
And speaking of plants and potions, we're going to be putting the dark arts away, put those unforgivable curses away.
Vale, bien.
Heading to the room of requirement,
vale, ya está.
which is
Ok,
your
vale, lo
home
último.
Hogwarts, a
Lo último,
personalizable
chicos.
space that actually has some utility as
Pero
well.
me interesa,
where you can brew things and grow
Me interesa
things
mucho.
and also care for some beasts. All right, Andrew's got us in the room of requirement, wearing, we kind of went casual mode on the outfit here, wearing a nice jumper. And I think that's a good jumping off point for the personalization of the space as well. Not just your character and the visuals of your character, but actually the
Qué
space
guapo,
is
tío.
a place that you can
Un
make your
telar.
own.
Yeah, it was super important to us that this space really did feel like your reflection as a wizard. So you can change the architecture in here.
What?
Different themes throughout, starkly different themes, to really just
No.
hammer home that this is...
¡Hala,
You
chaval!
can-
Oh my God, what?
Madre mía.
This is beautiful. We never expected that to be. Oh my God.
That's the thing, is not only can you change the
Madre
architecture
mía,
here, but you can actually
chaval.
conjure
A ver, al final es la sala de los
objects,
menesteres, ¿no?
into this space, as you
Qué
can
guapo.
see. So there's like statues that you can do, and ornaments, and tables, and rugs, and just
Mira,
a bunch
mira,
of
mira,
little
mira.
things that really flesh out the space and bring
Madre
it to life.
mía. Claro, lo puedes personalizar a tu gusto.
We had an idea that those places where you brew stuff, that's where you can change, but you can do all of this. Where do you
Madre
even get this stuff? Like, there's a furniture store?
Yeah, so we call them conjurations. And the conjuration recipes can be purchased at Tomes and Scrolls in Hogsmeade.
¡Hala, qué guapo!
But also, as you engage in different types of gameplay throughout the world, you'll be rewarded with different objects.
Buah,
You
tío.
change color?
You can change the color, you can change the size of it, and you can place it basically anywhere.
Oh my God.
¡Hala, hala!
It's like from Baby Niffler.
And I love how the system too is designed. It's not mechanical; it's immersive, and so you get the magical effect of conjuring it in, and you're actually doing this in the world as your character.
Mira, 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 mira.
but
Qué grande,
the way you
tío.
blended like that gameplay with the immersive design of personalizing the
Oh my
space.
God, like, and I love the animation, how it like appears, you know, like it's not just
Ambridge?
like there. It's
Esto es
like,
muy
it almost,
Ambridge,
like,
eh?
evaporates.
It
Mira,
is
mira,
really
mira.
quite beautiful, and that was the thing, is we wanted that to look really nice, because the magic in the wizarding world is everywhere. It's physical, it's kinetic, and it's whimsical. And we really wanted to nail that whimsy in this space. Another thing that I wanted to discuss is that not only can you like conjure things and you can change their look, but you can do that with the utility objects as well. So you can see that we have planting pots and potion stations, and you can change the look of those
Hala,
as
tío.
well. And these are the areas where, as we had mentioned previously, you'll be growing your plants, you'll be brewing your
Y
potions.
cambiártelo de color.
So while you're also doing these like kind of nurturing based
Madre
activities,
mía.
this is also the space
Y como-
where you would bring your gear to be identified, and gear to have like rates put on it, which I believe Alan can talk to.
Oh.
Yeah, we keep bringing up appearance and how it looks, and on in the game you can look like anything you want to whenever you want to.
Vale.
But the player will be finding different types of gear, that we call it, as you progress through the game. And essentially, we just know that
Mira la ropa.
clothes and different items in the wizarding world can have different magical properties. And as you explore and as you adventure,
Rollo armaduras y tal.
you're going to be finding different pieces of gear.
Cada una te da una cosa buena.
And that can help you in your journey and are a major part of you
Resistencia, protección,
and advancing as a wizard.
Antiveneno.
It's a huge list.
And not all the time, whenever you get a new piece of gear, you don't necessarily know exactly what it does. And so there's a station inside of the room of requirement that you can conjure. It's one of the first things you conjure, called an identification station, where you can actually bring that gear that you're uncertain about and learn what its abilities are.
Right, yeah, that's so cool.
And then as the space advances even further, and the space will eventually grow its own rooms, and you're going to get new...
Entra al invernadero.
You know, like Mackenzie's talking about, all these different things keep expanding, and as it expands, eventually you're going to earn what we see here, which is called a loom.
Vale.
And when you set up a loom, it's an ability to essentially customize exactly which magical properties are on your gear, and take any piece of gear and adjust its properties and tweak what
Lo
it
de hoy me
does.
está dejando
And
loco,
I mentioned earlier that you can make anything look like anything. The collection of appearances, we call it, or cosmetics, we've been referring to it in this stream. Those types of things you can use, and you can apply a look to any other look. So if you get a piece of gear, you put it on, you look like that, but you can change it to look like whatever you want.
That's so cool. And like you can just put some ability to this sweater, but then you can just swap that ability.
Correcto.
Yep, and appearances you can edit whenever you want in the gear screen. The loom is specifically about applying traits and applying larger upgrades that just kind of grant you greater statistical advantage or give you really specific abilities that blend in nicely with where you're trying to go with your combat fantasy or talents and things like that.
Interesting. I'm just seeing that they're just like pumpkin fur, NUNCA fur. Where does that come from?
Yeah, and so you'll notice that the ingredients that are used to add traits and to upgrade your gear are based
Procede,
on
por favor.
beasts. So this is where we get into the beast care
Ahí
section,
está.
which
Procede.
is inside this Bavaria.
Procede.
Kind of bigger space on the inside
Oh,
idea. And so you can see here we have a
nuestra
couple of
casita en el
beast style. We have a
campo.
graphorn and a mooncalf and a niffler and a neasel as well. So quite a variety.
Oh my god, he's just like a big puppy.
They're so
they're cuddling. Oh my god, they're together. Oh, that's so cute.
They're adorable. And so part of beast care is petting them as well, but feeding them too. And so once you do those things, that's when they feel safe enough.
Esto los tienes rollo como el Mystery, que están ahí y tienes que ir cuidándolos.
So mooncalf
Es lo mismo.
fur, niffler fur,
Obviamente
etc.,
mejor.
that can then be used in your gear.
That is like so like intuitive because like you know that makes sense because when you touch the animals you get some fur leftovers. That's so. Oh my god.
Yeah, and we really want to hammer home the fact that this is like a home that you're making for them.
El escarbatito.
So in the overland, you can find these beast dens and rescue these beasts. Part of doing so is brushing them and feeding them food as well, and to build that relationship with your beast. In addition to be able to care for beasts, you can actually conjure things in this space as well.
The house, the cottage.
Mira el Nielsen.
Right. And so we have like a lot of little ornaments in this area, and a lot of them are purely cosmetic, but they look really cool. Again, it's the personalization of this space.
Oh my goodness.
Madre
this is
mía
like,
de mi
I
alma.
spent 8 hours just designing this whole area to personalize. This is like cool. It's like you have this little play area, like a personalized fish tank, so to say. Just for
Es
the
que
creatures. I love it.
puedes hacer lo que sea.
And there's like a decoration aspect, but there's also, we were saying inside as well, is there's a utility aspect to it too. So as you progress in the game and you're able to purchase more conjurations, you're able to speed up your process. So one of them, for example, is the food processor, which allows for the beast in the space to automatically get feed, so you don't have to do it manually. And so you're really building the progression for yourself here. In addition, there's also a toy box where you can, where you can play with your
¡Hala!
beasts. You'll see here, yeah. So you can, there's bunch of toys in it, and each beast has their own favorite toy. So as you can imagine, the moon calf really likes the
No me lo
Beagle,
puedo creer,
or
tío.
the Nivel, as like a little cat, really likes to chase the yarn.
Qué
balls.
guapo, tío.
They're super cute.
Oh my god.
Watching them.
No me lo puedo creer, tío.
And the big thing we really wanted to hammer home is that the world is a dangerous place. And so by going and rescuing these beasts and bringing them back here and caring for them, you're really helping them out. There's poachers in the overland who hunt these beasts for their material. So instead, you're caring for them. You're giving them a home.
Right. Oh my god, this Raphorn is just gigantic.
Es enorme.
But he looks like my dog.
Es enorme.
Right now, for sure.
You could actually name them as well.
Obviamente.
Like,
Vale, era algo que no... Vale, se puede poner
Getting back
nombre.
into that
Se puede poner
personalization,
nombre.
You know, yeah, we didn't want you to just like throw in
Qué guay,
there's
tío.
a Graphorn in here. Like, this can be named whatever Andrew's about to name them.
Bruce.
Bruce.
It's a good name.
Vale, ya está.
You know, we've created this really nice space, and you can get additional vivariums, correct, to different kind of aesthetics and looks to where you're keeping your beasts and caring for them.
Progression is a big part of this space as well. So as you progress through the story, you will unlock more vivariums. So as you can
Más,
see, this one's
madre
quite
mía, pero-
meta-themed, big, open, bright. But there's other ones, say like a swamp that you might encounter.
Un
And
pantano
it's really
también.
a visual effect to
No me lo puedo
and more
creer,
space
tío.
for your beast.
Oh, so it's like those. So when we're inside the room requirement, there's like on the left, there's that moon glow from one entrance and then some shrubbery going on in the right. Is that what you're talking about?
Yep, that's exactly it.
Ah, oh, you put trees in here too. Oh my goodness.
Madre de mi alma, tío.
And another thing with the beast care that I think is great, you know, tying back to the same kind of thing that you did
Han
with like, the
pensado en
broom,
todo.
where the broom is not just a method of travel, it's actually built in and integrated into the world. In the same way, like beast care isn't just this added element. You're not just throwing it on top. There's really this like narrative and integration to
Yeah, everything
Everything.
connects. So as you
Para
progress
coger
through the
piedra lunar.
missions, you'll expand this space. As you earn resources, you'll go into Hogsmeade and use them to unlock the gameplay here and
Buah,
unlock
tío.
different decorations and different things to play around with. In the open world, it's in those different
No me lo puedo creer,
in
tío.
those different environments, like the different combat and conflicts and bandit camps and different things like that that exist in the overland. Those things are what hold recipes that exist in the loom. So all these things have a way of connecting. Moonstone that you find out in the world is the resource that we use to conjure everything that's found throughout the world. Forageables are used for recipes. So really everything's like a cycle and keeps you coming back.
But even with the story that's being told too, I think people know
Ole,
who Poppy
toma,
is
toma.
and that she has a particular affinity for beasts.
Yeah, I mean, I think everything we're seeing here, you know, you're going to be venturing out into the world, and this is just kind of the tip of the iceberg.
No es nada más que la punta del iceberg. Madre mía, tío.
So, you know, you bringing up.
O sea, que no hemos visto nada. No me lo-
There are more kind of mysteries to discover and things to discover out in the world that have to do with her and that have to do with caring for beasts. And so different characters have their own stuff that just kind of make this all just kind of like the beginning of your journey.
Well, we could spend hours in here, but we're gonna have to end the stream now. What do you think about what you've seen today?
Madre mía, tío.
I'm just so blown away by how beautiful it looks. The open world seems so
Estoy
detailed
flipando,
and there's
tío.
so many things to do, and like the combat, we're gonna spend like 2 weeks or more just breaking it down by pieces. There's just so much to this world. Like, I'm so happy you guys did this overall gameplay.
And that's just the tip of the iceberg. We've got more for you to discover and find on your own. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for watching. Hogwarts Legacy is available for pre-order now. It releases February 10th with 72-hour early access.
Pero no,
to
cuidado con esto.
Collector's Deluxe and Digital Deluxe Edition. We're gonna wrap things up, but first we've got a little surprise for you. Bye.
¡Una sorpresa! ¿Qué sorpresa? A ver. ¿Es el despacho de Dumbledore? ¿Es el pensadero? No. ¿Pero por qué hacéis eso? Ahora quiero saber qué hay ahí dentro. Como el diario de Tom Riddle. Y como el diario de Tom Riddle. No me lo puedo creer, tío. Escúchame, el otro que vimos es una basura al lado de esto. O sea, esto es un 2000 de 10. No me lo puedo creer. El otro es una basura al lado de este. ¡Qué barbaridad de cosas! Y dice que no ha enseñado nada. Bueno, yo me quiero morir. No ha enseñado nada y... Madre de Dios de mi alma. Bueno, ya tenemos GOTY 2023. Aquí os lo presentamos un año antes. Así que eso, aquí está. 200 de 10. No. O sea, aquí hay mucho para analizar. Madre de mi alma, de mi vida. No tengo palabras. Y han confirmado un tercer gameplay. Estaba claro. En enero otro más, pero ahí está. Confirmadito. Tercer gameplay. Y falta también el ASMR de... invierno. Vale, ahora mismo me da igual el No me da igual el retraso. Esto es lo que vosotros queríais conseguir, ¿verdad? Esto es lo que vosotros queríais conseguir, ¿verdad? Que la gente se emocione ahora. Vosotros queríais enseñarnos esto tan bonito y decir, bueno, ahora les enseñamos esto, flipan un poquito y ya no lloran. Pues sí, sigo llorando, porque no me parece bien lo que hacéis, pero me muero de ganas de jugar a vuestro juego de mierda. Pero han intentado esquivar lo del retraso. Queda compensado. Uf, Dios, madre de mi alma, qué barbaridad, qué barbaridad.